The bustling city lights welcomed me as I embarked on a new chapter of my life. Freshly employed and eager to conquer the metropolitan jungle, I eagerly responded to an advertisement for a bedroom in an apartment near the city centre. The rent was surprisingly affordable, an opportunity too enticing to pass up. Upon my arrival for the viewing, the socially awkward landlord quickly led me through the space, pointing out the only caveat: the presence of a flatmate named Derrick, characterized as a reserved and quiet individual. As we toured the apartment, the landlord knocked on Derrick's door, asking if he would like to come out and say hello. With no response, the landlord explained that Derrick might be taking a nap. We continued to the living room, and filled with excitement, I signed the rental agreement, looking forward to my scheduled move the following month. On moving day, Derrick's elusive nature became more apparent. Despite the hustle and bustle of my move-in, he never stepped out of his room to greet me. While I could hear his movements inside, confirming his presence, he remained in seclusion. Opting to give him the benefit of the doubt, I attributed it to the possibility of him being an extreme introvert. As the evening settled in, and I immersed myself in a Netflix session, Derrick's door finally creaked open. Eager to introduce myself, I approached my door, only to be met with the sound of the front door slamming shut. Perplexed, I ventured into the living room only to find it deserted, confirming that Derrick was actively avoiding any interaction. Baffled by Derrick's behavior, I couldn't help but wonder why he was so intent on avoiding a meeting. Nevertheless, acknowledging that our paths were destined to cross sooner or later, I returned to my room and eventually drifted off to sleep. In the late hours of the night, I was abruptly awakened by the resonant sound of the apartment door closing, followed by approaching footsteps toward my room. A shadow beneath my door suggested someone standing outside. It seemed peculiar. Why linger there like a silent observer? Choosing not to speak, I decided to wait for a knock or for the person to move away. Strangely, Derrick lingered uncomfortably for a long 5 minutes before finally retreating to his room. Although curiosity gnawed at me, I chose to let the matter rest. Throughout the night, mysterious thumps echoed from Derrick's room. The temptation to knock on his door and request some quiet crossed my mind, but considering I hadn't even met him yet, I decided to overlook it and eventually drifted back to sleep. Upon waking up in the morning, it appeared that Derrick had already left. Most of my day was spent shopping for groceries and essential items for the apartment. Upon my return, I dropped the bags on the living room couch to catch my breath. I prepared dinner, watched some Netflix on the couch, and throughout it all, Derrick remained absent. Later, I made a quick run to the 7-Eleven for toothpaste. Upon returning, I noticed Derrick's door was slightly ajar, with the light on inside. Taking it as my cue to finally introduce myself, I approached his door, lightly knocked twice, and then gently pushed the door open. What awaited me inside was nothing short of shocking, or perhaps more accurately, what didn't await me. The room was completely bare, lacking any furniture except for a lone wooden chair tucked away in the corner. The stark emptiness sent shivers down my spine as I quickly turned off the light and closed the door. Was Derrick in the midst of moving out? Feeling a surge of anxiety, I retreated to my room, locked the door and sank onto my bed, the onset of a severe headache accompanying my confusion. Grabbing my phone, I decided to call the landlord to unravel the mysterious situation. As the phone connected and I pressed it to my ear, a sudden loud ringing emerged from my closet, causing my heart to plummet. The phone rang twice before diverting to voicemail. Tentatively, I rose from the bed, considering opening the closet, but an unsettling intuition held me back. The sickening thought crossed my mind that perhaps the landlord was hiding in my closet. Overwhelmed with fear, I bolted out, called the police, and within minutes they arrived. The officers proceeded cautiously, their hands resting on their holsters as they explored the apartment. As we reached the closed closet door, a wave of trepidation washed over me. The lead officer signaled for his colleagues to be ready as he slowly swung the door open. To our collective surprise, a disheveled man emerged, cowering. Handcuffs securely fastened around his wrists, he cast furtive glances around the room. A mix of fear and guilt etched across his face. And then it struck me. This was the same man I had met during the apartment viewing, the one who had posed as the landlord. The police questioned the imposter about his motives and identity. As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, it became clear that this man had concocted an elaborate scheme to deceive potential tenants. Derrick never existed. He was a fabrication used to create a semblance of normality in the apartment. The imposter, whose real name was still unknown, had been living a clandestine existence within the apartment, preying on unsuspecting tenants, observing and infiltrating their personal space for a twisted amusement. Under police questioning, he hinted at an inexplicable fascination with the intimate lives of strangers. In the aftermath of the ordeal, I couldn't shake the feeling that there were still layers to the imposter's dark agenda left undiscovered. As I moved forward, haunted by the unanswered questions, the persistent notion lingered that the true horror lay not in what had transpired but in what could have happened and what the imposter intended to do. Thank you for watching aikdastaan, where every tale is a testament to the human spirit and every voice resonates with the truth as they perceive it.